because I don't want to say this podcast. So we're gonna
I'll cut that part out.
Yeah. Just cut.
Okay, say it again how you want it to be.
Okay, cut back in.
Okay. Welcome to Thoughts in the Glass podcast. I'm Latoya.
I'm Kendra.
And we're here for your listening enjoyment.
So sit back, grab a drink, grab a snack, and come with us on this journey of funny, real,
laughter,
conversations between friends. We're friends now, right?
Period.
So make sure that you like, subscribe, share, bring other people into the club, the community.
Yeah, the family. We'll bring other people into the family.
You know,
into the circle.
Into the
friend circle.
Come to the group chat. Keep the notifications on. Don't mute us. And look out for our videos every Wednesday.
So we start off every podcast with a drink of the night. So yes. Kendra, what's our drink tonight?
So clearly you can tell that I have a frog that's dancing down in my throat. So tonight's drink is going to be a hot toddy. And there are many ways to make your hot toddies. You can use different type of alcohols. My preference is to use brown liquor. So I usually either use a bourbon or whiskey. A bourbon can be a whiskey, but a whiskey can't be a bourbon. So there are two different things. Or you could do a brandy. Sometimes you could do a liqueur. Now, a lot of people don't know that the Fireball is a liqueur.
Uh-huh.
Liqueurs are liquors, however, they have a higher sugar content. So when you have a Fireball, it has the cinnamon. So if you're not feeling well and you want a hot toddy, what I would suggest is a Fireball to have that cinnamon taste, and then add a little bit of lemon. If you don't want to do sugar, you could do honey, or if you don't want to just do a lot of sugar, do a little simple syrup.
The hot water doesn't evaporate the alcohol?
No, and it just depends. I usually use about 2 ounces, but it's really to your preference and to your liking. It's really just to help to make you feel a little bit better. I don't know how much the alcohol does, but it does help you feel a little bit better.
Alcohol probably has some properties because people used to give their kids like rum and stuff when they would get sick. Like put a little bit on their gums.
It's a numbing.
Oh. Well, cheers to our hot toddies.
Cheers with the hot toddies. And also, we are representing Black History Month.
Period.
So this is the first full week of Black History Month. And one of the things, I don't know if everybody knows this, but every year during Black History Month, there's a theme. I can't quite remember the theme for last year, but this year's theme is performance in the arts, right? So we're going to start off with a
Black History fact.
With a Black History fact.
And what was the theme?
It is performing in the arts. Let me just double check.
Performing in the arts. A Black History fact from performing in the arts.
Yes. No, I lied. It's all of the same, but it's African Americans and the arts.
Oh, African Americans and the arts.
Right. So one of our Black History facts for today is that Ella Fitzgerald was not the first Black woman. Because that's usually the title that they give, right? Yeah. The first Black woman.
Right.
Or the first Black man. She was the first Black person.
Amen.
To get a Grammy. And we just finished with Grammy season, and we have a lot of Black winners.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I hope they don't, tell us to shut up and sit down next year. We had a monumental amount of people.
I feel like it's, y'all, okay. Right. Y'all got y'all awards.
Right.
Now let us get back to our award show.
Let's get back to status quo. Okay.
It probably
feel like it's close to Black History Month.
Yeah.
Let's do something. So, so I have a question.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with a young lady. We were at work. At my job, excuse me, my company usually tries to, during Black History Month, have different seminars or TED Talks to be able to talk about, different things depending on whatever they're celebrating, right? So this year for Black History Month, the first couple weeks, they're going to talk about wellness. African American wellness. And so she kind of gave when we saw it, this is just random, and she was kind of like, ugh, but I kind of rolled her eyes to it, right? And so at first it kind of took me aback, but then when she kind of started to explain, she was basically saying that our wellness is more becoming more spiritual.
And
it's going back to herbal. A lot of people are now doing more research in how can what we put in our bodies, meaning natural things, using ginger. I've started to use a lot of ginger. I've started taking ginger shots. It does me better than coffee. So I wonder, so with that saying out, and it wasn't on the topic of wellness, but going into school and having Black History Month, having these performances that we used to do, and having to do the book reports and things like that, how do you, as now have gone through the years of Black History Month, feel about Black history?
I mean, I guess for me personally, I grew up in a household, in a family where that was super important. Like my granddad, he was really into that. Right. He was really into it. Okay. So if in school, if we weren't doing a Black History project, at home we were doing one. Okay. So how I feel about it, I feel like institutions have never served us as far as what they would bring to the celebration of Black people. Like, I never depended on what we were doing in school to kind of be
to frame when you discuss it.
Or our Black History program at school was not the pinnacle for me, or not the thing that I look forward to. Right. And so like when these companies try to do like, oh, we're gonna have an event or fair or whatever they're gonna do, it's like, okay, that's cute, you know, but that for me is not the thing that's like, oh, I did this thing at work, so I checked the box. Like, it just never has been. Now, I do take advantage of, I try to take advantage of everything they do. Even if I don't feel like it, like I probably would have rolled my eyes too, like, ugh, wellness, like, can we watch a movie? Like, I probably would have felt that way also.
Not watch a movie. I remember when they used to make us watch a movie.
There have been times where they've had like speakers come in and talk on whatever they talking on, or the first Black person, or you know, the Black executives in the company will do like a talk. I'm going, even if I don't feel like being there, I'm going. Because I do think it sends a message when they have stuff and Black people don't attend. Because I feel like it sends a message to them that we don't think it's important. So while I'm not interested in every topic, I try to go. When I was in school, my granddad would be like, what project they got you doing? And I'm like, oh, we don't got to do nothing. Or we got to do a book report. We got to write on one person. He would make me do like a poster board. Like, who did you pick? Frederick Douglass? He getting out the poster board.
Get the wig on.
Yeah. I'm like researching facts. And then he didn't even like if I would pick, like if we had to do like a presentation on a person and I picked somebody that like everybody knew. He would highly celebrated. He wouldn't allow that. He would be like,
find somebody
you can't think of another person from Black history. You don't know anybody else. All you know is Martin Luther King and Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X. That's all you know. And I would be like, you're making it so hard. Like why can't I just do my thing? But he would be like, no, you need to pick a person that maybe you don't even know about, you know? And this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this, because I feel like we really deep dive in here. And so I ended up kind of learning a lot, but then I kind of got faced with the reality that not everybody's raised like that. And so another time for Halloween, I dressed up as Dorothy Dandridge, and I mean, I did the thing. Like, I had like the hair. I did the little flower. I had the red dress. It was like a whole thing. Go to a Halloween party, and Black people were like, oh, you're Marilyn Monroe. I was like, no, I'm not. I don't even have on a white dress, and my hair is not blonde. How could I be Marilyn Monroe? But it was disheartening for like so many people to not know who I was. And I'm like, this is our, like she's our Marilyn Monroe, or she should be anyway. And so many people didn't know who that was. And so it kind of just, it was a reality I had to face, that like, man, not everybody grew up like that.
I think I appreciate it but I feel that I don't want to be spoon-fed what you want me to be spoon-fed. Because I feel that African American history is American history.
Amen.
And so I feel that when people don't know about Dorothy Dandridge, when people don't know about these things, it's because we have been blocked off to only knowing about it when we're in this month.
Yes.
It should be, I should know about a black person doing anything just in this month.
Right.
If they did it back in 2019, why wasn't it discussed in 2019?
Right.
During our test and things like that, history test, there's not a history test talking about in your elementary, middle, and high school about slavery.
Right.
Or about the things that are important to us. It's like, oh, we'll talk about it in this designated time frame, and we're going to whitewash it because you're not going to make us feel bad about it.
Yeah.
So I don't, as much as I appreciate it, I feel like going into my now 40s and we're still only doing it at this time, my children should be learning about American history the way American history happened. We ain't only get hurt in February. You know, sometimes we are given crumbs when we deserve the same amount of a sandwich that you won't get.
Yeah, definitely.
It shouldn't be combined in such as something so small. So every week we're going to talk about something new.
Oh,
something
I love
that we found out.
Yeah. First of all, this is Black History. 2 Black women on a podcast. While there may be several others, but this is Black History.
Because our voices are necessary.
Yeah.
Our voices needs to be in the chat.
Exactly.
And a lot of times we are, especially, I'm not sure what's going on now, and I'm not going to go fully into this because this could be a whole nother section, but we are being stifled into in the things, all of the things that we could be for whatever reason. And I'm at a place where I feel that as much as somebody can say something is oversaturated, there cannot be too many voices.
Like, for example, they may say the podcasting space is oversaturated when they're talking to Black people. But when you look at how many white podcasters there are, and so for us, it's like we haven't even reached the number that they're at, but yet it's quote unquote oversaturated. Like,
and understanding that the same way that other cultures have different experiences within their culture, so do Black people.
Right.
Our way of doing things are different because of our experiences.
Exactly.
And it's very unique because our experiences range so widely because of upbringing experience, because of racism, because of
location,
the whole gambit of things. I can talk to someone that's Black from Milwaukee and they have a whole different concept of how they operate.
Absolutely.
And it can be completely foreign to us and we're still of the same culture.
Absolutely.
So, but anyway, I feel like that was a good conversation.
That was good.
Drop down in the chat. Tell us what you think about it. So how was your weekend? How's your week going thus far?
Oh, man. My weekend... I don't really remember it. Oh, it was my aunt's birthday.
Okay.
We celebrated her birthday.
Okay.
We went out to a little party. That was cute.
Oh, do.
Yeah. And we enjoyed ourselves.
Nice.
Live band, live music.
Okay.
But I did find myself the whole time while we were at the party, I found myself like critiquing. And I was like, that's the event planner in me.
And you, exactly. Exactly.
So I just tried to enjoy the night and not critique. But I will say this. I don't like to feel like I'm being nickel and dimed. So the issue that I had was there was one price for entry, then there was another price for food, then there was an additional cost if you wanted to have your own table. And I understand that the people throwing the event, they're trying to make their money. I get that. But I would much more prefer, and maybe everybody is not thinking like me. There may be some people that are like, no, I'll just pay to get in. I don't want no food. But my thought is, instead of charging me $30 to get in and $30 for food, just charge me $60.
Right.
And tell me that the event comes with a dinner. I would have much rather have paid that $60 and then had dinner with the event than to get there and find out I have to pay another $30 for the food. And on their flyer, I believe they did try to explain that, but it was confusing because your admission cost and your food was the same. Okay. So when I see on the flyer that it's $30 for food, and then when I go to purchase my ticket, it's $30. Right. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, okay. Right. I'm not thinking, oh, it was $30 just to get in. I feel like that should have been explicitly outlined on the flyer, that $30 admission and additional $30 plate. Right. But we had a good time, you know. That's what matters. Yeah, we paid it. We had a good time. We enjoyed ourselves. She enjoyed her birthday. Okay. I got my hair pressed out, but then it rained. So listen, there's that. Mine was a little bit for a long time. What'd you do? Not a damn thing. The only thing I did is I contemplated, because I do braid my own hair. I was going to shampoo it and go ahead and braid it so that it can just be done. But in a couple of weeks, we're going to be going down to see my partner's family. And so I kind of wanted to be fresh for that. So, but it was too dirty to go another. I could not live like that. So I went ahead and washed this. I have a little pom-pom. And that was really it. I kind of just, the end of last year was very taxing on me with the amount of money. Like, I bought a new car, just getting a lot of things situated. And so I wasn't I just don't want to, I'm in a space of, I don't want to spend no money. Yeah. And people are always telling me, or suggesting things that we need. Oh, you need your remote starter for your car. As much as I want it, it's not a need for me. And then it's like, you don't want to spend the money right now. I don't want to spend the money right now. And it's like, I just don't feel like it. And so that was really basically it. And then during the week has been, like, it's been okay. I will say this. I am so tired of people that don't want to do their job. And or don't want to do the research or figure out how to do something before you ask somebody how to do it. It just, because the time it takes me to explain it, you could have put in these, just search for it. Look it up. Yeah. Look, everything is laid out for you. You can Google anything. Yeah. But outside of that, blessed to be here. Amen. Kids are thriving. Progress report should be coming out soon. So we'll see how that goes. And we were supposed to sit down and kind of start mapping out the year, because every freaking month there's something going on. Yeah. Every month, between birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, vacation. Yeah. I have a senior graduating, so all of those things. Trying to thinking about what we're going to do about a car situation. Just the everything. And that's one of the main reasons I'm like, I don't want to talk about or spend money. Yeah. Because starting in a couple of weeks, it's going to ramp up to boom, 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 boom. It's something coming out the pocket. So did you get a chance to watch the Ravens game? So I enjoy sports. However, I get too involved and it causes heart palpitation. I'm not even my team been home. My team was home before everybody. We not gonna get into it. But it's okay. I'm gonna still rep them commandos. Oh gosh, I love. I say we didn't have to get into it. I know. Listen, I'm true to this game. Okay, I'm true to my people. But we watched a little bit of it, and then we switched over to the Lions and the Lions and the 49ers? Yeah. So then we switched over to them. So we only really got to see the third quarter of that game. But, so did you? No, I didn't watch it. Okay. So I'm a Cowboys fan. Okay. But so y'all were at home too. We were at home as well. Yeah. But I say that, and then I'm like, I I used to be really into football, like really into it. Now I don't have the bandwidth to really get into it, that to your schedule, to follow the players and the coaches and all of that. So no, I haven't. However, I probably will watch the Super Bowl just because it's a thing. Right? Are you gonna watch it?
I'm gonna watch Usher.
I'm excited for that too,
I'm excited for that because I have heard and I've seen such raving reviews about his
I feel like we should have went to that show in Vegas. As much as conversations have been had and talking about it and people being like, I want to go. I feel like we should have just went.
I think that was history in its making. Yeah. I don't think that I don't think that anyone else is going to be able to bring that amount of eyes to it. And he just made it look like it was an Usher experience.
And apparently he's going on tour, which is great. Yeah. But I don't know if you're
going to get the same.
Yeah, if him because it's intimate. Yes, right.
Yes. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't gonna be where the intimacy happened, right? I just wanted to be in the building.
And so I had a friend that went, and she said that she wasn't sitting that close, and she said, but there was really no bad seat in the house. Yeah. So I just should have done it. And thinking about it now, all the opportunities I had, I was like, oh, I'm doing something else. I'm unavailable. I don't want to spend the money. Those tickets are crazy. And I'm like, girl.
But it's now, and now you look back and it's like, that's something that's not going to happen again.
And I should have did it.
And you should have did it. Yeah.
But we'll see him on the, I am going to watch the Super Bowl just to see Usher, basically. Yeah. I really don't care. If the Ravens would have gone to the Super Bowl, I would have rooted for them, obviously, living in Maryland. Yeah. But now that they're not there, I don't care who wins at this point.
Yeah. How do you feel about the controversy of people saying, oh, if only Kansas City only won because of Taylor Swift? And they want them coins. They want the Swifty coins.
I don't know. See, I have a hard time believing that the games are rigged. Right. I just have a hard time believing that because it makes for a good conspiracy theory. But when you think about how many people are getting paid on all of these teams, if you already know that your team is going to lose, then why spend millions and millions of dollars trying to get the best players?
I don't think so. With Taylor Swift, that happened in the middle of the season.
Exactly.
Right. So I don't. So I'm just throwing it out there. Not that I believe it, but I'm just saying it's so crazy how people will spin a story to fit their own.
And it could be like the energy, meaning maybe he's playing better because he know his girl is watching. You know what I mean? Or maybe even the team in general, because they know more eyes are on them, they have a little bit more gusto on the field. True. So it could just be that energy. And I think, this is a capitalistic society, so I think when the producers and things like that, when they see that, like, oh, we get a lot more viewers, we get a lot more people watching, the guys are playing a little hard, I think they just taking advantage of the situation.
So speaking of controversy, have you been excuse me, Lord,
choke her up now, because what she about to say.
That's how he said, pull it back a little bit. Have you been keeping abreast of the Nicki versus the Barbs versus the Hotties?
Girl,
are you in tune to the dramatics and the drama of it all?
I think this is the one time where I'm like, I'm old. Cause what are we talking about?
You know what are we talking about? I'm in it.
I did listen to both songs.
Okay. So let's start there. What did you feel about? So if the first person that dropped was Megan, what did you feel about?
I actually liked it. Okay. I liked it. I thought it was a good song. I'll put it like this. I'm not really a super fan of rap in general. Okay. I will listen to Nicki. I will listen to Meg. I have them both on different little playlists that, you know, if I want to get hyped up before I go out, whatever the case may be.
Right.
So I don't really have an affinity to either. I grew up with Nicki Minaj, so I feel a little bit more loyalty there, but just because that was kind of the music of my youth.
The things is connected to memories.
Right, exactly.
I get that.
So when I heard his, I thought it was good. I honestly, I felt like she was taking shots, but I felt like a lot of the shots were subliminal. Or, you know, they were kind of like low key. It was like, I'm not really naming no names, but if it applies to you, like she said, a hit dog gonna holler, right?
Every time.
So I thought it was tastefully done.
Yes.
And it's up to you if you want to align yourself with some of the things she said, right?
If you want to put the shoe on.
And then I heard Nicki was going off on her.
Let me tell you something. Rants on rants.
I didn't keep up with none of the rants. But I have some family members that are like serious barbs. So the family chat was really going off. And apparently not only the barbs in my family, but the barbs in the world were in a rage. And I feel like unwarranted though.
Right.
Like, why y'all so mad?
So she spent 72 hours tripping. So then when she drops Bigfoot, when you listen to that, then what are your thoughts on that?
I was disappointed.
Okay.
I was disappointed. I was like, what am I even listening to right now? Like, this does not sound like anything that she's ever done. Right. Even some of her songs that maybe were not as lyrically strong, they were popular. Like, they had a popular beat. They were songs that you could listen to, you know, like You a Stupid Hoe, you a stupid, like stuff like that. It may not have had a lot of meat when it came to like the rhymes, but it was still a good song. Bigfoot, I don't know what that was. I feel like that should have stayed. That was like a brainstorming session, and it should have stayed. It should have stayed in the
brainstorm. You throw everything out there.
She was throwing everything on the wall, and it should have stayed in the writer's room. I feel like we got an unfinished product. Like, I was just so disappointed, and I felt like if you're gonna jump into the conversation. And now you have created this, we going back and forth thing. For me, my expectation is drinks back to back.
Right.
If we coming, that's how we coming.
Right.
And Nicki's capable of that. Look at No Frauds. So to hear that, I was just disappointed. I expected more from her, and I felt like if you didn't have anything to say, then you should have just been quiet.
Right. Or taking your time. But this is the other thing. And this is why everybody's saying that, and this is just my opinion. And I'll give my full thing. But just on this part, if she's saying she already had these things in the bag, so that tells me you've had more time than Megan did
to prepare something.
Yeah. This is how I feel. Nicki been giving shots for a minute. Your preparation, you should have been prepared. The only thing that you should have been doing is maybe adding things if you found out more information later on. Outside of that, you should have already had basically a draft, basically almost a finished copy if you wanted to then add the ad-libs in later. The fact that you claim as if, and I got 4 more songs, please. If this was the first one, and most of the time you put your best first, I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it. I'm over it.
And so this is my these are my thoughts.
So what were your thoughts?
These are my thoughts. So when I woke up, when I was like, why are the girls girling or the girls beefing?
They tussling.
They out here on the vocal tussle. they on the vocal tussle. And so when his came out, I'm a beat person. I like a good beat. I like a song where, yes, I understand it's a diss track, But I like it when it's still a song, when it can still be played on the radio, when it can be played in the club, and I might, but I can also dance to it.
Yeah,
I can pop it, okay. But so I like that about it. And then when she dropped them visuals,
yeah, she looked good as shit. Megan looked good as fuck.
Her body is bad.
Bodying.
I mean, to the space, and I've seen on social media her workouts. People help other fitness people who tried her work, and they're like, she's crazy. What they have her doing is crazy. And the thing is, what I appreciate and some of the things that she has explained is that she went through a very traumatic last few years, and I think I feel as if she's in a place of healing, and this is part of her healing. Like, I need to purge this. Let me get this up out my system. And as she said, and then we're going to put this to rest. We're going to put this to bed. So that came out. And again, as you said, subliminals, right? The line about Megan's Law. First of all, the bar that she dropped in that space, the fact that it's an educational bar, because a lot of people didn't know about it, it was thought-provoking.
Yeah. Because
people are like, well, is it Megan, meaning herself's law?
Right.
And how she's going to now operate.
It was a double entendre.
Right. A double entendre. And the attorney.
Right.
That represented her was Megan. So you don't know if that was a Tory hit. When you decide to put your feet in a shoe, no pun intended, but when you put your feet in a shoe and you can fit it, that's your business.
Yeah. That really says more about you than it says about the person that said it.
That deserve commentary.
Exactly.
If somebody say, oh, that girl with them glasses on, she ain't it, I'm never looking at myself. I'm looking around to see who they talk, because they can't be talking about me.
Right.
Because I don't think about that about myself.
Yes.
Now, she went on this rant. She was saying all the things, all of the lines that would have been thought-provoking or shocking, not even thought-provoking, because nothing was thought-provoking, but things that might have been shocking were like, oh, she got her. You said on Twitter, you said on Instagram,
on her Queen Radio.
You were tripping.
Yeah.
Right? So in my eyes, I'm like, already kind of like, okay, if that can't be what she's getting. Like, I thought, honestly, that she was in the booth figuring something out.
I thought she was going to spill some real tea. I thought she was going to spill some tea that we hadn't heard before. So when it came out, and I do like to listen to both sides. My father always said, you have to listen to both sides of everything. Even if, especially like with politics, if you're a Republican, you need to listen to Democrats. If you're a Democrat, you need to listen, because you got to see what the other side is talking about. Right. The things that the Barbs were so excited about ain't nothing new. Right. It's the same shit that been said on other songs. Right. That she's talked about her. Nothing is new. And the thing is, the things that I feel like talking about someone's appearance is lazy. That is lazy ass rap. Especially when, for the most part, you can't really help if... I can't help that I'm tall. Yeah, she can't help that she's tall. You know what I mean? You can't help kind of some of your physical features. You can't help that. I mean, the only thing you can really help is your weight, right? Right. And she's fit, so... But it's interesting because Megan did say in his that when they asked, like, what the issue is or why they got a problem with me, they don't really have a response. They don't have a response. It's nothing for them to say. And whatever. And I think that Nicki proved that point. Yeah. Like, you don't have you're trying to come at her, but you don't have you don't really I was disappointed in Nicki, but I didn't even want to say that. I'm not a fan. I'm not going to call myself a fan of either. Mm-hmm. Right? I enjoy good music. Mm-hmm. I think I definitely kind of was turned off to Nicki, and maybe because I'm more of a 90s girl. I like the hit of R&B
hit a SWV, give me that and I'm good. So and I'm used to the women of that genre, of that era, coming off as more masculine, more assertive, more about their business. And Nicki was a gimmick to me. She was very gimmicky. And I'm like, we aren't dumb. Yeah. You're making it seem like, I don't need all. Like, that wasn't my thing. So there's only a few times that you're going to say the same thing
over and over
and think that I'm going to get... You saw in the beginning of the song, you talked about her mother. And in a song, you talked about her mother. And then you did the yin yang whisper to talk about her mother. That's... You've now beat the horse is dead. Yeah. We're done. And this is the thing that I think bothers me. Now being a woman of a particular age. And have seen the evolution of us being stifled in our own sexuality. I don't care who I'm giving my cat to. It's not your business.
Or why is that a dig? Like, guys can go around here and sleep with whomever, and that is
it's a
never
trophy.
That's never a dig for them.
Right.
But to call me a hoe, or to say I slept with certain people, or to say, you know, oh, you had to suck somebody's dick for them to do whatever, that's a dig.
Right.
Well, okay, these dudes out here eating pussy for nothing, and that's not a dig. Like,
and this is my thing. And I don't know how anybody else gonna feel about this, but I'm gonna say it. If you like to taste the flavors, I like a sample. Okay,
a free sample.
I like a free sample. If it's not on the bill and it's not when I check out, you ain't got papers on that.
Right.
Ain't no paper. That don't exist.
Okay.
You ever had such and such? I haven't.
Because you ain't paid for it.
I ain't paid for it. You don't have record of it. You don't have
What's
papers
the analogy here?
So you don't have papers on you. If you don't have papers on me.
So if you sample the dick, that means you ain't really...
No. If I don't go
you
back.
Don't count that body.
If I don't buy it. If I don't buy it.
I don't know.
If I don't buy it and I have not... There was no full transaction and that just was a sampler. If I don't dip back, it don't count.
Okay.
When I go to Baskin Robbins and I ask for the chocolate and the vanilla, but I only leave with strawberry, chocolate and vanilla, that wasn't a purchase. There's no receipts. It wasn't on my order.
Okay.
So it didn't happen. And so I feel her when it's like, when she said, it don't count if I didn't go back.
Don't speak on my bike count if the dick ain't worth coming back for seconds.
Okay. Not at all. So, inevitably, I was not impressed.
Me either.
With Nicki's response. And I'm going to tell you now, if you a Barb, Delulu Barb, whatever Barb, don't go doxing.
What that mean?
Child, because I did learn this.
Okay.
I had to look it up, child.
Educate me.
That's when they go and be sending out people's documents, their phone number, where they live at. And it's kind of at a point where if you love your fans so much, when do you want to say that's enough?
Yeah.
And I think that's the other thing. I think a lot of artists don't realize your fan base can be a turn off as well for people to be. And I think that's what ends up happening with Beyonce. Not her fault. I know. Blasphemy. But I think that a lot of people are saying,
how did the Beehive get in it?
I'm just using the example of a lot of times people are like, oh, the Beehive is this, the Beehive is that, right? And they love her so much that it can, for other people, it's like, well, why do they love her that much? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can feel as it's a hater thing.
I mean, I would say this. For people that, I agree with your point. Your fan base can be a turn off. But when it's what Nicki is experiencing, your fans are doing reckless things. Right. To me, that is a turn off. But for people to say, like, y'all so pressed for her, that's why I don't like her, to me, that's unreasonable. Like, you don't like somebody because she is popular. That's dumb.
I'm not, I can understand that, but I also, on the devil's advocate. When someone likes something so much,
you try it and you're like, it's not all that.
It's not all that. And then it's kind of like, well, yes, it is all that, but it's like, but it's not. So then it becomes a combative, unnecessary thing. But I think for Nicki's fans, and I think the fans are fine. It's the fanatics that kind of take things to the next level. But this is what I really want to kind of deep dive on, just a smidge. Why, for her to have all this information, that means somebody in this particular scenario, it's a whole bunch of niggas kissing and telling.
Yeah.
When did we start doing that?
You know, I thought about that too. I was trying to understand, like, how does she know all of this? And so I think it's either two things. Either one, you know, from Megan, which means that you all may have been closer than y'all let on at one point. And if that's the case, that's super shady of you to now tell all your friends business or your ex-friends business after she shared it with you. Or the guys that are not fooling with her anymore have told you. But then to me, that should also be a red flag or signal for you. He has an issue with her. So why is he running back and telling me everything that he tells me is going to be negative towards her because they're not together no more?
Or you calling her ex-friend.
Or you talking to her ex-friend, which is also a problem. Like, of course she going to give you all the dirt because they're not cool anymore. If they was cool, she probably wouldn't be saying all of that. But because they not cool, she's going to say everything negative. And I just feel like Nicki too old for this. She's like, 41. This is some little girl stuff.
She is already 40s.
This is some big little girl stuff. And Megan is how old? 30? Is she even 30 yet? She must be like 29. 28.
29. I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's
foolery.
It is. And I think that's another thing that disappoints me about this. As a Beehive member, I would just say
no Beyonce slander will be tolerated.
Well, that's for sure. That's for sure. But I would say the Queen has never stooped to that level.
Right.
And for Nicki to be, you know, aligning herself or reminding us that her and Beyonce are friends. Are they? Yeah, but are they? And I feel like you don't carry yourself as somebody.
Yeah, she's 28. Megan is 28.
You don't carry yourself as somebody who has Beyonce's ear, because I'm sure Beyonce would say to Nicki, just like she said to Megan at one point, don't respond when people are talking that trash. You don't respond. Put it in the song. You know
what I've noticed? The people who are in the Carter circle on social media, they do things different.
Absolutely.
Haley.
Absolutely.
And not just exposing her pregnancy. That the way people are responding to her now showing stuff pisses me off.
Me too.
Because a lot of reasons why women do not talk about their pregnancies is, especially if you've already had backlash from your relationship, at that vulnerable space, you don't need the extra. And y'all not y'all family, but y'all know that they are some very evil people, and you are very vulnerable at that time. So you want that pregnancy experience to be the best experience. So now that the experience is over, I'm willing to share it with you.
I also feel like people aren't taking into consideration it could have been a high-risk pregnancy.
Exactly.
Like, we don't know anything about her health. We don't know anything.
Nothing.
And she could have just been like, I just want to make it through to the end. Like,
especially with this being her first pregnancy.
Yeah, like at any moment, we keep forgetting that going through a pregnancy is not easy for everyone.
Right.
And at any moment, you could miscarry. You could be put on bed rest. It's so much that to now have to explain that or backtrack that, like, oh, she had a belly, now she don't. Okay, well, I fucking had a stillborn.
Right.
Now what?
Right.
You know what I mean? I got to share that too.
Right.
I think people
there's
really
a level
forget.
of privacy that you should be able to have.
Yeah, and if you choose to.
Right.
Some people choose to put it all out there, and that's fine.
Right.
And some people don't, and that's fine.
Right.
And now that she is sharing it, that's also fine. I love her response. She said, "If you're tired of seeing it, don't follow me."
You know what's so crazy? And my 20-month-old knows how to do it.
Sway.
If he can do it, you can do it.
Right.
Or
yeah,
it is literally that easy. I don't understand why people want to comment on negative things that they saw, where it takes more time for you to watch it and comment than it does for you to swipe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm often going through and unfollowing people because I don't want to see it. Like that Krishan stuff. I've unfollowed, I've blocked, and I don't want to see that on my feed. I'm not going to go in and talk to her about or comment about how she dumb and she this. I don't have time.
Right. Because
I'm just not watching it.
On
yeah.
I'm going to sit here and explode or be so emotional about someone else, number one, that does not know me.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, does not give a damn about what I do and don't think.
Mm-hmm. And
number three, who is a baby, who literally is spiraling and going through their fame ain't for everybody.
That's so true.
You know, Nicki, it just focus on your family and understand getting married to someone who's on the registry for, I don't care if he did it when he was 2. If you did and this is not something that happened and he tricked you, bamboozled you, you didn't know, catfished you, whatever, you were fully aware.
Yeah, so he did time for it.
Be fully prepared for someone to use that against you, because now you are literally signing up to be in just like women that sign up to be with men that are in prison.
Yep.
You are signing up for criticism. You can't be mad for someone to criticize someone being on a registry who has hurt a person. You signed up for it.
Yeah.
Literally signed your marriage certificate to sign up for them being able to use this against you. And stop saying, oh, they talking about my family. Put a name on it. Stop talking about my husband. Because nobody's talking about your son.
Right.
They might be talking about your brother.
Yeah.
But nobody's talking about your mother. You're not talking about your family.
But like you said, you have to know that people are going to use that. That's going to, in fact, that is their biggest target. And so it basically, for both of them, for Meg, you know, her situation, getting shot and everything, that's a huge target, right?
Right.
So going into it, knowing that that's a huge target, you, like you said, should already be prepared.
Right. And the thing is, the difference is, this happened to her. What Nicki chose to do was a conscious decision.
That's true.
These are two different instances. Now, you can say maybe, oh, Meg being promiscuous, and I'm only using that word because that's what everyone would say, is a target. If you're going to be promiscuous, you know they're going to talk about it. I don't know how many songs that Meg has put out there that's letting you know that she been popping that pussy.
Yeah, like she
it's
already,
not a secret.
You know, she kind of takes she talks about herself, right. So it's not really funny anymore
because her sexuality and what she wants to and how she wants to display.
But I think for Nicki, it's kind of hard to take control of that situation. Like, you know, people are going to talk about it. You know, you're a target. So how do you reclaim it in a way?
You can't. So those shots are the shots you're going to have.
She just got to eat it.
You got to.
Okay.
Some stuff you got to charge to the game.
Yeah. Period.
And when you make that type of decision, it's something that you charge. Like, I know they're going to talk about it. I can't get mad about it. All I can do is have that would be like someone saying, or talking about Eminem being on drugs.
Right. He's
talked about it. Even if somebody bring it, he don't get mad about it. I've said that about myself. Yeah. I don't even think that Megan even gets mad about people saying that she's promiscuous.
Right.
I think that when you get so upset about something and that you should have been prepared for, that's what it is. You're showing
you know what it is. Yes, and it's also showing that you haven't accepted it. That
like you're not okay with it.
Like you said earlier, you still have a problem with it. That's why you're so upset.
Yeah. So anyway, but these are just our opinions. Don't dox me. I don't want, I don't got time for all that. But anyway, so also while I was over the weekend scrolling the internet, I ran across Am I the Asshole?
I love that.
I feel like this would be cute, something to do.
Yeah.
Something to add a little flair. So I'm going to read this to you guys. And you can tell me what your thoughts are.
Okay.
Okay. All right. My voice is crazy, so don't judge me. All right. So, am I the asshole for telling my sister she's an idiot if she thought her actions at her wedding wouldn't have consequences? Okay, ready? All right. So, backstory. My bio dad died when I was young, and my mom remarried when my sister was 8 and I was 10. We are now in our late 20s. Stepdad focused a lot of his time on providing for us, so we never got close to him. So I'm guessing he was more like working all the time. Yeah. But I am grateful for him. I am engaged, and my sister is going to get married in about a month. My wedding will be in a year. Both of us are close to my mom, though. Again, my sister, who we'll call Noelle, fucked up, in my opinion. At first, I was on her side, but now I feel bad for my stepdad. Noelle isn't going to have him walk her down the aisle or give her away. I understand this is her decision, and when that came out, I helped my mom and stepdad understand that it was her choice. The turning point happened last week when she told us that he would not be sitting at the family table.
Oh, wow.
And when we asked her why, she made it clear that he was not family to her.
Whoa.
Again, her right, but damn, he's the reason we had such a good childhood and are debt free. He paid for college and he worked a ton.
Wow.
Okay. I knew this would result in them not going to the wedding, and they informed my sister. She called me upset and was ranting about how it was her wedding. And I guess she wanted to say, and now she feels abandoned. I had enough and told her that she was an idiot if she didn't think that her actions would have consequences. She called me a jerk and hung up. I am unsure if I am the jerk. I am feeling guilty since I am now closer to my parents, since I promised him that I would let him walk me down the aisle at my wedding.
Wow.
Am I the asshole? So I'm gonna throw it over to you. And okay, so let's do a recap. Okay. So we have 2 sisters whose fathers passed when they were young.
Right.
Mom remarried when sister was 8, Ryder was 10. Now that they're in their 20s, they're both getting ready to get married. Sister's getting married first. She does not only does she not want stepfather to walk her down the aisle, she does not even want him at the family table.
Correct.
I.e. sitting with his wife,
right.
I.e. sitting with their mother.
Right.
Sister first understood when it was the walking down the aisle thing, because that can be a thing.
Yeah.
Fine. But doesn't understand about the family table. So now she has called her out, called her a jerk, informed her that your decisions have consequences. And so now she's trying to figure out from the audience, from the people, from the community.
Is she an asshole? No.
Okay.
No. Right off the bat, no. I think that for the sister to feel like her stepfather is not family, it already clues me into there may have been some issues there, some dysfunction there. The first thing I think about is the writer says that we are both close with our mom.
Correct.
So the first thing that comes to my mind is mom didn't do something right. Because if your girls are close with you, but one of your daughters is not seeing her stepdad as family, then it seems as if the mom, the constant, the one that has been there through both fathers, maybe didn't enforce. This is what is happening right now. He's stepping up. He's XYZ. You know, I feel like she said they were 8 and 10. So I feel like you go through those teen years when you kind of get a little rebellious. And I think if that wasn't checked, then I could see how it could get into the 20s. This dude worked and provided for you. He paid for college. He's as much of a father as your father would have been had he been alive. And to me, it's a little disrespectful. And I feel like her mom, granted, I guess her mom is taking a posture of, if that's how you want to be, we just won't come. Like, I'm standing by my man, and I get that. But I also feel like, and maybe this has happened and she just hasn't written about it, but I feel like mom should check her. Like, you might not even be able to have the wedding that you want to have had he not done what he did. Like, if he hadn't paid for college, you might be paying off student loans, and you may not be able to afford to have a wedding.
Wouldn't be debt free.
So to say he can't walk me down the aisle, I agree. I get that. You don't want him to walk you down the aisle, fine. But then to say you don't want him sitting at the family table, it seems as if, honestly, it seems like you're a grown adult and you're still crying for attention.
Yes.
Because why is that so important? Why are you making a big deal? You making something out of nothing. And now that your mom is not coming, now you want to cry and fuss and throw a tantrum and this is my wedding. I feel abandoned. You probably do feel abandoned, but those are abandonment issues from your dad passing.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with your stepfather and the decision that your mom's making now. For the sister, I would say, I don't think she's the asshole, but I definitely could see maybe a capitalizing on the situation because she said, I'm closer with my parents now because I promised that he could walk me down the aisle at my wedding. And now I have an opportunity to maybe be the favorite or to be the, the golden child.
Yeah.
Or it could be a people-pleasing thing of like, oh, they're hurt about this. Let me try to fix it.
Reiterate. Yeah. Or make it smooth it over a bit.
Yeah, let me smooth it over. But even in that, there's still a bit of you are trying to get some self-gratification because you don't go out of your way to smooth something over unless you feel like there's something in it for me. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll say I don't know if it's that because in the beginning when her sister was like, I'm not going to have him walk me down the aisle, she did kind of smooth it over for her sister, but then to understand like it's okay that you're not, like, it's her decision. She didn't flip until it was like he can't even be at the family table.
But my question is, and she doesn't say this, did you promise that he could walk you down the aisle in the beginning, or did you make that promise after your sister took it a step further?
Right. Or was it not, maybe it wasn't, maybe she had to reiterate something that was already assumed.
Right. Maybe she had already had it in her mind that this is how it was going to go.
Right.
But now that this has happened, let y'all know that this is what I was planning from the beginning.
Right.
It could be.
And so, but I think you're spot on with the antics of the sister, having some abandonment issues, and because honestly, she at 8, you remember stuff, but it isn't, and I don't know what type of father they had, so that's the other thing. But I feel as if the cousins be at the family, this man put you through college. Yeah. Your mother was not a single mom. Right. And it's hard. And so I think about it like this. So my girls, of course, were much older when my partner came into our lives. And even in these last few years, he's been more attentive and more involved. Well, definitely than one of my daughter's dads. But in these very critical years, these very difficult teen years of my oldest child, and her father has not been there. And I don't know how I would feel if it came down to her wedding. And I mean, if you feel that, I don't want anybody to walk me down the aisle because had a relationship with my bio father. He didn't step up and do what he was supposed to do. I just don't want. I want someone. If she chose me, or she chose her sister, or chose her brother, I can get with that. That is a special. That is someone that you feel that has taken care of you, giving you to the new person that's going to take care of you. But to not have my man, the man that made sure that you had, that I don't care if he worked 24 hours a day, he sacrificed because if he was single, because we don't know if he has other children,
right?
He could have been minding his business and been single, not taking on someone else's responsibility.
Yeah,
and it doesn't seem as if they had any children together, so it's just her children. I think I don't think she's an asshole at all. I think she didn't go in hard enough, in my opinion.
Okay.
I feel like her sister should have been read to Phil.
Wow.
I feel like that's so rude, especially college ain't cheap, and it ain't even just about college, but college is not cheap, and it seems as if your mother could not or would not have been able to make sure not just that you're through college, but through college with you coming out on the other end
debt free. Also, even before college, she said he spent a lot of time working
to make sure that we had a good childhood.
Yeah, so I could understand them not maybe developing that close of a relationship with him because he was working a lot. But as an adult, you couldn't even find it in yourself to appreciate that, to appreciate, okay, we're not that close, you know what I'm saying? But he was always working. I mean, I want you to walk me down the aisle, but, you know, you did what you stepped in when my father couldn't. So I want you to be there. And if that means, well, even if she feels like, I really don't want him at the family table, but they have decided if he can't sit at the family table, then they're not coming, then to me, them being at the wedding should be more important than him not sitting at the family table. It's like compromise. Yes, it's your wedding, but this is your family.
Right.
Your wedding is going to be over after one day. You're going to ruin your relationship with your family.
But I think the moment that statement came out your mouth, even if you backtrack, you've already drawn the line in the sand. And I think what ends up happening sometimes, and I don't know this because I ain't got married, but when people go through this bridezilla thing, you're planning for the wedding and not planning for the marriage. And in marriage, you need community. You need someone to have a conversation with your husband that has been married, because now you're talking. So now, because clearly, if you got your mom got remarried when you were 8 and 10, and now you're in your late 20s, they're going on 10, 15, 20 years, almost 20 years at this point.
Right.
So, how double dog dare you? How dare you? So no, I definitely don't think she's.
But I don't know. Is it the place of the sister to correct her sister?
I think in this instance, because they've gone through something together by losing their father, a lot of times moms don't want to, or maybe your mama didn't have the emotional bandwidth to deal with that.
I don't.
And I'll say this, sorry to cut you off. It's not as if the sister called her to say something. She didn't say, I called my sister to correct her. She said, my sister called me to rant. And as she kept talking and talking, and I had to then step in and say something.
Right. So yeah, I do agree, but I don't agree. Well, I feel like that's not having the emotional bandwidth is not an excuse as a parent, because as a parent, a lot of times you have to, I'm not going to say push your feelings to the side, but like you're raising kids. And so if you don't instill certain things, then they're raised without it, and you can't go back, right? Now you have to deal with this adult who, I know her kid's father died, and so she probably was grieving and dealing with that too. But the 8-year-old can't tell themselves how to deal with it. So if you, mom, don't come in and guide that, then of course you get a 28-year-old who is still dealing with abandonment issues. Now I will say, now that she's an adult, it's on her.
That's what I was. That's
it is on her now. But it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like she had, it doesn't seem like there was any attempts at trying to work through those abandonment issues at a young age. So now she's acting like a child, right?
But then I wonder if, and of course we don't have the full story of the years in, but for there to be a thought that he was going to walk her down the aisle, because you have to say,
because he probably assumed that he was.
I'll say I feel as if that there wasn't a the relationship wasn't negative to the point where it was like something needs to be fixed, or there's an issue. I think the wedding is the catalyst of her not saying, because it's what if this was something that they already had been dealing with, I don't think it would be a shock.
Right.
This was
he would know, like, she don't deal with me like that. Right. She probably not going.
It wouldn't be a shock.
Yeah.
I think the shocking part is you've been around. I've been in this family. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. And so unless there's something else that has happened in which she feels a certain kind of way towards him, I just feel like she's a brat.
Yeah, it's giving brat.
She's giving brat, and that whole still probably thinking that you're not my real father shit, and I don't like that, especially when someone has stepped into a space to try. And again, we don't. And so she also mentioned how he worked a lot, so they don't have the best relationship because he wasn't. You know, we don't know what kind of, especially if he was like an over the road trucker. Yeah, you ain't there.
Yeah,
but I just feel like it's just super whack to not even have him at the family table.
Yeah, that's super whack.
That doesn't even make sense.
That was a good one.
But yeah, so that was a good one. So, but this was a wonderful chat. Next week is Valentine's Day. So we'll talk more about that. And I think we're gonna have a jam-packed episode for you guys.
Yeah,
with a bunch of surprises.
Lots of surprises.
So
we don't even know what the surprises are.
I know what the surprises are.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Let us know again what you're doing for Black History Month. Some stories, some things that we don't know.
Yeah.
Some fun facts. You know, just.
And if you guys have Am I the Asshole scenarios, you can send us those too.
And we will change the names. We will not put your business out there if it's anonymous. We're a community. We will let people in the group chat anonymously.
Yeah. Email us, thoughtsinaGlass@gmail.com.
@gmail.com. Or hit us up on Instagram.
Oh, yes.
Facebook.
DM us.
DM us.
We want to grow our community. So share this, subscribe. We appreciate all the people that watched our first episode. But definitely subscribe.
To get to know us.
Yeah. Okay. We need those subscriptions. So subscribe, like, watch, send it to your friends.
I'm gonna tell you something. We're gonna pedal this subscribe and the like for a minute.
And I feel like at this point with YouTube, doesn't even have to be said. Yeah, y'all know people need
and put the notification bell on so you do not. We drop every Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're not gonna tell you a time on Wednesday. We drop every Wednesday. So with that being said, here's another one down in the books.
Period.
Cheers to us.
Drink to that.
And we will see you all next week.